Hi, I'm Sophia Barreto. My group's going to be doing a presentation over Sigmund Freud, who is a very well known and famous psychologist, very known just for being a crazy guy. I'm going to be talking about his life and times. So, Freud was born on May 6th, 1856, in Freiburg in the Austrian Empire. Which at the time was Austrian Empire. His father was a Jewish wool merchant, so his parents were raised as Orthodox Jews, but they didn't really implement that in the household, so he didn't have a very religious upbringing. He only had two half siblings prior to him, and after him, his parents started having his siblings. His first one was Julius. He didn't even make it to be a year old. Freud was really jealous of Julius during that time, but he did pass away at 8 months old. Later on, his parents went on to have 5 more siblings, so he was like the oldest kind of his full siblings. So total there was like 8 children in the family. In 1859, the Freud family moved to Leipzig for economic reasons, and then a year after to Vienna, where Freud remained until the Nazi annexation. Freud had 6 children with his wife Martha, who he had married in 1886. His education is very lengthy. So he graduated from secondary school in this gymnasium in Vienna in 1873. And then later on, when he went into actually studying in the medicine of psychology, neurology, and everything, he studied medicine, he did psychotherapeutic research, and he also studied neuropathology. In med school, he went to the University of Vienna. He had a focus in neurology and physiology, and he ended up getting his medical degree in 1881. Influences throughout, and his mentors throughout that time in his education were Ernst von Bruck and psychiatrist Theodore Maynard, and as well as Hermann Nothnagel and Jean-Martin Charcot. I believe that's how you say it. Towards the end of his life, it's a very well-known fact that he was a cocaine addict. So he had started using it for medicinal purposes, thinking that it would benefit him. So he ended up encouraging other people to use it, and as well as some of his clients and some of his friends, which he ended up quitting because it resulted in him and his friend, dying. So that was that. And he had been enduring severe pain from jaw cancer, which has started as a mouth lesion in 1923. Sigmund Freud died September 23rd, 1939, after physician and friend Dr. Max Schur administered a lethal dose of morphine at Freud's request. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Garza, and I will be doing Sigmund Freud's influences. So, Sigmund influenced the fields of psychology, psychiatry, art, and modern culture by introducing the idea that unconscious forces shape the human behavior. So, Freud believed that the unconscious mind stores memories, desires, fears, and experiences that may be overbearingly painful for the conscious mind to handle. His belief explains how we are often guided by thoughts and feelings we don't realize we even possess, and understanding those hidden forces can aid in recognizing patterns in our behavior and improving on them. So, Freud influenced many psychologists. A few of those psychologists were Erik Erikson and Jean Piaget, and he inspired them to explore human development on a deeper level. So Erik Erikson built on Freud's psychosexual stages, but rather than only observing on the biological drives, he focused on social and emotional growth. This led to the creation of psychosocial stages of development, realizing that people continue to grow and face new challenges through different periods of their life. Jean Piaget, however, took a different approach. Instead, he was influenced by Freud's belief that childhood experiences shape thinking and aid in personality development. So Piaget focused on how children learn and think, allowing him to develop his cognitive development theory, which showed that children actively construct knowledge as they grow. So Freud's theory opened the door for other psychologists to study the mind, learning processes, and personality in more systematic ways, overall guiding shaping the modern psychology and education that we have today. Now, one moment, please. Psychoanalysis. So, known as the father of psychoanalysis, Sigmund Freud discovered a groundbreaking approach that altered how many people comprehend the human mind. Before Freud, mental illness was often seen as purely physical and in some instances even as moral failure. With Freud's introduction to the idea that much of our behavior is driven by the unconscious mind, techniques like free association and dream analysis were developed. These techniques allowed Freud to demonstrate how talking about one's inner thoughts could lead to healing, something he called talking cure. His theory of the id, ego, and superego explained the constant conflict between our instincts, morals, and reality. Freud's work transformed psychology and therapy, creating such an immense influence that some of his ideas are still debated to this day. Now I'll be talking about the influences Sigmund Freud had on child development and his whole theory. So Freud believed that our early childhood experiences heavily impact who we become in adulthood. That a belief led him to develop the psychosexual stages of development, where he describes the formation of personality as a child gets older. So his theory has consisted of 5 stages: the oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital stages. Each of these stages focuses on different needs and challenges. These needs could be comfort from a baby breastfeeding, which was a part of the oral stage. As a child moves through these stages, they progressively learn how to balance their desires with expectations from their parents and from society. So Freud believed that if a child's needs weren't properly met at any stage, problems in their future life could arise. So his ideas helped shape modern psychology by conveying that childhood experiences have a powerful influence on adult personality and behavior. Although some of these theories are controversial, today Freud's focus on early development continues to influence therapy, education, and parenting. Thank you. Bye.